the reality that you are in right now is not your dream reality. But that doesn't mean that you have to run away from it. When you're trying to manifest something, you know that you need to be present. You need to be in the now in order to become the person who you want to become. You're not waiting for it to happen, but you're allowing it to happen in the present. You've heard about that a million times, but how are you actually supposed to be present when the current reality isn't what you want? When your dream reality sounds and seems very far away from what you're currently experiencing. It's contradictory to your beliefs, and your brain just doesn't want to make it make sense. It's like, why would you want to be present in something you're trying to leave?
Why are you running?
At least for me, when I'm thinking about becoming that higher version of myself, I would always strive to naturally become that person, do the things that my higher self would do, become aligned with the higher version of myself. But when you're living in the 3D reality and all you can see is the current reality that you're witnessing right now, it's gonna be hard for you to constantly remind yourself to be in the present moment, to accept what it is. Because if you're anything like me, goal-oriented, we want to achieve our dream reality as fast as we could. Let's be real, it's really hard to stay in the present moment in the reality that is not aligned with who we are, which is the higher version of ourselves. Again, if we connect this to identity shifting, our higher version of ourselves or our current identity doesn't really align with the current reality. If we want to become a worldwide traveler, while in reality we are still stuck in our house, couldn't really afford traveling the world, then how is it expected for us to be present and just accept reality for what it currently is? It's very contradicting, right? So that's where a lot of people get mistaken. They think that their current reality and their dream reality is not the same, which is true. But again, that doesn't mean that you have to just run away from it. It's not like you abandon everything that you're experiencing currently just so that you can try to act and live as the higher version of yourself. The key is to have that gratitude with the now and become appreciative of the mundane moment, the current reality that we're dealing with right now. And you're probably thinking, not only is it very hard to focus on having that gratitude and that joy of living in the present moment as it is, but also the question of why does being present actually matters when manifesting your dream reality will surely come up, because again, these two might seem very contradicting. Now, to answer those questions, I'm gonna explain about the resistance trap. So a common misconception when it comes to creating your dream reality is that you hate where you are at so much to the point where you think it is actually your driving motivator for you to change, to become better. While it is true that the first step of creating your own dream reality or the higher version of yourself is to escape this version of yourself that you don't want to be in, right? But this resistance is exactly what keeps you stuck. Resistance is the fact that you're binded towards something. You're binded towards the fact that you hate this current reality so much to the point where you can't even process on a day-to-day basis, and you just want to escape. You just want to get to that next point as fast as you could. It's very hard to be impatient when you're goal-oriented, right? But again, that is actually a resistance rather than a goal motivator, as how most of us actually perceive it. When you hate your current reality, if you constantly push it away, you try to forget it by doing more things that you think would get you to where you want to be, you're actually giving your current reality more power. Because you're saying that this reality is so powerful that you need to fight it. And again, we all know the saying of whatever you give into this world will become yours. If you try to resist your current reality so much, you're saying that this is what I want to deal with, this is what I want to fight every single day. And so ultimately the universe is going to give you more things for you to fight with, more things for you to resist, because you're in that energy of resisting. Now the same goes vice versa. So when you love your current reality, you fully accepted it for what it currently is, you have power over it, and you send a signal to the universe that you are not really binded towards this current reality that you have right now, and it doesn't really matter because you're giving the world love. At this point, when you give the world love and interest, you also will gain much more power and influence in this game of reality creation, because loving the world implies that you have power over it, meaning you are not binded towards it. You let it go, and we all know that when you let go, things will just flow into your life way smoother. This also means that a lot of people's belief about, oh, you need to minus the old you in order for you to become the new you, that means that you're only living as the half you, essentially, because you're only accepting the new you. Whereas the current you, or whether you want to call it like the higher version of you, the identity of the person that you want to become, that is actually a combination between the old you plus the new you, which creates the current you. Everything in this world is within you. There is no external. So if you're refusing something you are already experiencing, it literally means that you're refusing yourself. If you refuse this current reality that you hate, that you despise, then that means you also despise yourself because you're living in the current now. It doesn't matter how strong you held that new identity of yourself, as long as if you still despise the current or even your old self, and you try so hard to get rid of this old self and become this new version of yourself at ASAP, it means that again you're refusing yourself as a whole, because this old and new self is not separated. You're currently living as this new version of yourself, whether you like it or not. Now, this doesn't mean that if your old self and your new self is combined together, you would have to go through the hardship of your old self, of the negative reality that your old self is manifesting. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are already experiencing both sides of the world, the new version and the old version, then it's more natural for you if you try to experience and dive into the experiences that you have already created for the very purpose of experiencing it. Because again, whether you like it or not, this current reality is created by you. So why not, instead of resisting it and pushing ourselves backwards by becoming more like our old self, why don't we just try to experience the current moment as just an experience, as just you watching a movie with ups and downs. Because we all know that a movie without any drama, without any villain, is not as interesting as the ones that do have a villain and a hero, right? It's the same with being happy. If you're happy all the time, then that defeats the purpose of being happy. Meaning that if you didn't experience any of the negative emotions, let's say you're born and you're constantly feeling happy, you will consider happy as just an emotion, a normal emotion, and you won't actually feel that joy, that happiness that usually only comes once in a while. Then it's just as if you're playing a game that doesn't really have any challenge, or watching a movie that doesn't really have a resolution, a storyline behind it. It's no fun. Imagine living your life just feeling one emotion all the time. It will be very boring, very bland, and there's just no character into it, right? No personality, no anything. So again, when you're constantly resisting where you're at right now, you become stuck in this loop. You'll think, okay, I hate this, I need to get out of this as soon as possible. Eventually, the thought of like, why is it not changing fast enough, or why is it not changing, will get to you, because again, you're trying to escape the now, you're resisting it. And so by resisting it, you become more aware of the current reality not changing, which then defeats the purpose of you creating this new identity that you want to become. The new identity that you were supposed to experience now will become soon, because of the fact that you are aware that you're not in that dream reality yet. You're gonna become even more stuck in the current reality, and that resistance will keep you there. So the natural way to go out of this unwanted reality is to just simply go through it, not around it, not away, not trying to resist it, not trying to get away from it, but go in it fully experiencing it, fully feeling it, not resisting it. As simple as that. When you resist nothing will resist you. There is no future to worry about and no past to blame things on, because both are caused in the now. If you try to remove timeline as past, present, and future, it will basically give you a fresh breath to take. Because now that you're not thinking about the past, how your old self is consuming you right now, how the old self is actually creating the reality that you want right now, and how the future is still so far ahead and you need to always pursue your future self. Again, that's just keeping you stuck in this resistance mode and keeps you binded towards this constant loop of trying to improve yourself and trying to escape from this current reality. But when you stay in the present and just try to enjoy the present moment as it is, this new sense of freshness, witnessing the beautiful moment that you actually have right now, it's gonna actually give the universe an easier time to bring your desired reality into the now, rather than projecting them into some future that you thought about that will actually never come, because you're basically living in the now. We think of time as linear, but past and future are actually created in the now. There is only now. Past is a memory you're replaying in your mind right now. Future is the thought you are having right now. Basically, that implies that there is only the now in this present moment. And being present also doesn't mean that you're giving up your goals. It doesn't mean that you stop dreaming big, you stop planning, stop strategizing for your dream reality. But being present is actually enjoying the journey while you're on it, not waiting until something arrives to start enjoying life. You need to completely remove the thought of, okay, when my life changes, I'm gonna do this. When I finally get there, I will experience this. Simply saying that means that you're projecting your thoughts into the future that doesn't even exist. And finally, you're missing out on the moment that actually exists, which is the now. So let me tell you about my previous struggle on being present and what it means to actually be present. Because I know that for a lot of people, even you, the viewers, you're probably dealing with this issue of actually prioritizing the wrong things in the present moment, trying to work on things that you think would get you out of your current reality, whereas the truth is you need to actually be present and just live in the now that you're currently dealt with. Now, when I was trying to scale my business, I had a marketing agency business that I took a break from because it wasn't really serving me anymore. During those moments, I was really stuck in the hustle mode, hustle mentality. And again, a lot of people say that you need to work towards your goal in order for you to manifest your dream reality. Because of the fact that we live in a 3D reality, we need to still put some action towards it. We need to still be disciplined towards the things that we want to achieve, because otherwise, if you just sit in silence without doing anything, you're not going to manifest the thing that you want, right? But here's what a lot of people, including me, got wrong. When I thought about living in the present as if I am already that person who scaled my business successfully, it got me thinking of the actual tangible ways that I could go about scaling my business. I was thinking maybe it's better if I try to contact some more leads. Maybe I'm not contacting enough leads yet. As we know in the business game, volume always wins, right? As Alex Hormozy says it. While it is true in some part, it can actually destroy you also in another sense, that if you're thinking too much about the volume and not so enjoying the present, you're basically acting out of fear that you don't have enough leads yet, out of fear you have to take an action in order for you to get what you want out of your life. It is not in alignment with who I'm trying to become, which is just scaling a business out of fulfillment and in alignment, right? Not out of fear, not out of doubt that I couldn't get more leads. So I spend my days working 8 to 12 hours doing the things that I think will drive me forward, but it's actually making me more miserable, which then translates to my life and my business becoming a vessel of misalignments and just miserable experiences happening in my life. I was not happy at all, even though I got the things that I want, which is more clients, more money, but I wasn't enjoying doing all of that. I didn't wake up feeling grateful that I have this business and excited to start this day, but instead I despise doing all of the work because, again, I was not working in a form of alignment. Now, what it means to actually be present and enjoy the things as it is currently right now, rather than trying to force action that creates misalignments, is by doing the things you actually love doing at the moment. For example, let's go back again to the example of a person trying to become a traveler, maybe a content creator in the traveling industry, but is not currently equipped with the resources to travel yet. Instead of trying to figure out how to get quick money in order for them to quickly become that travel blogger, it is more likely for you to feel happiness in the now, to feel joy in the now, and do things that you actually love now. Maybe that person also enjoys cooking on a day-to-day basis. When they go traveling, eventually they'll try new food. Why don't that person just try to cook a new cuisine from around the world every day and try to record that instead? Or just basically work around what they have now and make use out of that instead of trying to escape who you're not trying to become. As for me, I really enjoyed drawing and painting before, but again, because I was stuck in that hustle mentality, I need to lock in, no entertainment at all. I didn't give any time for myself to dive into the hobbies that I actually love doing, which is painting, because I thought that was just a waste of time. It's not contributing to who I want to become, which is successful, more money, more growth in the business. Like, painting won't do that for me, right? It doesn't have any corresponding benefit for my higher self. But little do we know, the act of trying to do something you enjoy in itself is already a huge driving factor in you manifesting who you want to become, because ultimately who we want to become is just an accumulated emotions of what we want to feel. We want to make more money because we want to feel more secure. We want to have a huge community because we want to feel confident with ourselves. Want to build a business because we want freedom, we want that peace of mind, we want ease, that everything will work out eventually. So in doing the things that you love, you actually try to become present, live in the moment, implying that, again, you love the current moment, which then you have power in your current reality, and that gives you more leverage in actually feeling the feelings that you want to feel, feeling the joy, feeling the present moment, winding down, relaxing, focusing on having that calm peace of mind. And again, by doing the things that you love, eventually positive emotions are gonna spike up. You're gonna feel relief that you actually do the things that you love. You pass time by doing the things that you love, meaning that you don't really put an emphasis on time, which then means, again, you don't really care about the past or the future. You're not stuck in that loop of trying to resist it and trying to bind it, but actually being present now and enjoying the current reality that you created. So if you refuse to enjoy current reality, you're refusing to do the things that make you happy now. Basically saying, I'll be happy when things will change. But again, that's just a future projection, not being present. So that is all the things that keeps you from changing. You're not in the frequency of happiness now. now. You're in the frequency of waiting for happiness. But when you do the things that you actually love, you're basically in the frequency of happiness now, which that again, it's easier for universe to just give you more happiness for you to experience in your day-to-day life. Same concept applies as when you're trying to resist your current reality, you're resisting the other blessings that the universe are going to give to you. It's the same with thinking about the future rather than thinking about the now. If you're in that state of waiting, because eventually if you're still thinking about the future, you're in that in-between moment of waiting, the universe will obviously give you more things to wait on, because that is the frequency that you're in. But when you're not waiting, you're not in the frequency of wanting and desperate for things to happen, you're just being at this point. And from that place, everything just flows more easily. The key to happiness, or not even happiness, basically receiving your dream reality, is to stop denying the present, giving up the resistance, and putting attention on what is wanted right here and right now, no matter where you are. The key to actually being present is, firstly, as I've touched on before, just do the things that you actually enjoyed doing. Even if you think it's not logically contributing to your dream self, it is actually contributing to creating that frequency that you want once you had that dream reality. So do whatever it is that you want to do. If you enjoy drawing, if you enjoy crocheting, which I also enjoy doing but have not really done it in a while because again it was a waste of time. Crocheting is very time intensive. Do it now, just for the sake of living in this moment and being grateful for the world that you have created right now. Secondly, if you still have trouble being present because you don't really have anything to work on, basically the circumstances doesn't allow you to do the things that your higher version of you want to do, right? You can basically just manage your time wisely and create a time plan throughout the day. You create time blocks and not necessarily become strict with your time. Making a time plan doesn't mean that you're restrictive towards time and you think that time is the most valuable thing in this world. Well, it can be true. Sometimes that thought itself might destroy someone who's an overthinker, because they will think about every decision that they make. Is it contributing to who they want to become or not? Because if not, they're wasting time, right? Just like my previous self, I was really strict with my time and that cost me a lot of resisting. So instead of trying to think time as scarce, we try to think time as a medium for us to be in the present moment. Because when we give ourselves time blocks, we know that, okay, from this time to this time I'm going to work on this, from this time to this time I'm going to work on another thing, and that allows us to become present and live in the moment now, rather than just aimlessly doing the things that we think will bring us forward, but that actually is bringing us to the state of the future, which doesn't exist. And the third tip is also, when you caught yourself waiting for things to happen, now that you're aware that you are waiting, you simply just disregard that waiting feeling and do the things that makes you become present. So because you're going from waiting mode to become present, once again, you're no longer in that waiting mode, and that's already a big improvement towards being grateful in the present moment. So anytime you notice you're in that waiting mode, you direct your attention to your present surroundings or the body or what's going on right now, or even just some pleasant thought. You're aware now, you're awake now, so you don't have to keep thinking about that moment later on in the future, but instead just do the things that you want to do in this current moment. Your attention could be anywhere, so why waste this precious moment with being impatient? So that is the way to get to where you want to be, which is fully accepting and loving where you are at right now. Not in a settling way, not in giving up your dreams way, but you're realizing now that you created this experience for a reason, and you're gonna fully dive into it with joy, with gratitude, and with a sense of relief, not resentment and resistance. And that is basically it. I know that this is not as easy to implement as it sounds. It requires some time for your brain to actually adjust in the present moment, because we're so used to living in the past and the future. That's what our society taught us to do. We need to plan for the next thing to happen, otherwise we will be deemed as someone with no plans for the future, or someone who's not thinking about becoming a better version of themselves, even though that's actually a contradicting belief. And yeah, I'm still learning about this also myself, trying to become better, becoming present. I know that my viewers out there, you're also a go-getter. You want to manifest your dream life. You want to become that girl as soon as possible. And so you kind of get caught up in that loop. I need to get better. And you forgot to do the things that you actually enjoyed doing. If you're still watching till the end of this video, this is the sign for you to just take a step back and actually do the things that you love doing. It's not a sign of you wasting your time away or wasting your life away, but it's just simply feeding into the things that you actually want to feel. Okay, so right now you're learning, you're noticing it more, and the more you practice just being here, the lighter your life will feel. You don't have to fight your current reality to create a new one. You just have to love where you are at from there on, the next version of you will just simply unfold effortlessly. So let me know if this resonates with you. If you still have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you have any feedback for me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video where I'll talk more of my experience and what I used to struggle with or currently struggle with, so that we can also resolve all of this in real time and we can become the higher version of ourselves together. I'll see you in my next one.